In this video, we're going to talk about the ups and downs we had while actually relocating here to Medellin, Colombia. And at the end of the video, we're going to give you 3 tips you need to know when you're planning to relocate to a foreign country. Hello, my name is Sam.
And my name is Tasha. And if you don't know us yet, we have a company helping expats to relocate to Colombia. In the last video of our story, we talked about how we ended up in Colombia. So today we want to talk about the whole journey on how we found Medellin to be our new home. And also we will talk about how we found our apartment, how much we spent it at the beginning and now. And also we will give you 3 points you can take away from that video. So we will start the second part of our journey in Pereira.
So imagine we stayed in an Airbnb in Pereira and had to decide where we want to settle after around 6 months of traveling. So we did a very good job, I believe, of not just relying on the research we did, because we did a ton of research, but really actually going to the places we filtered out on our research, to see which one we liked best. And we sat down together and had a little discussion, and it was more or less pretty sure or clear that we wanted to make Medellin our new home. So we packed our bags once again and went to the bus ride from Pereira to Medellin.
So we arrived in Medellin the second time now, and we stayed with a friend that we knew from the previous trip. So the plan was to find an apartment for ourselves, because in the last 6 months we sacrificed our privacy and our comfort to immerse ourselves better into the culture and get to know more locals and stuff. And it was a great time, but still we were looking forward to have our own apartment again. So as planned, we started to look for apartments. We went on the internet and saw prices that are pretty much like in Switzerland. And so we asked the expats, and long-term expats recommended us to walk around the neighborhoods and look for the signs in the windows where you see like numbers and you can call them. And same like go to the porteria, which is like where the security guard sits, and to ask him if he knows if an apartment is free now. So this is what we did to avoid gringo prices. So imagine during that time we had no time to socialize and doing like fun activities. So we had at that point we had no local friends at all, and we spent most time researching and walking around the neighborhoods and looking for apartments. And so we totally forgot about our social life, kinda.
So till that point, everything went according to our plan. But at this point, we needed to get an apartment, and we did the tricks that our expat friends told us, but we really quickly found out that it's not so easy. First of all, of course, our Spanish was already kind of good, but especially talking through the phone while calling those numbers, we just quickly realized it's very, very hard. And the other thing, when we actually came through with the phone call and could organize something, we quickly found out that either you have to have a Colombian cosigner, which is called the fiador, to get the apartment, or a high deposit, which we didn't want to do. So yeah, we were kind of back at the drawing board again. We just asked our friends, so yeah, how can that be? How does a foreigner get an apartment here? And they said, oh yes, yeah, you're kind of right. I forgot to mention that. And yeah, it's either you go to the expensive companies on the internet, or otherwise you just know somebody that knows somebody. But yeah, of course, we have just been here for a couple of weeks, so it was quite confusing for us to kind of, how does a foreigner get an apartment in Medellin, which is kind of a basic need. And so we had to figure out another plan and extended our stay with our friends, and after that booked our own 4 walls, let's say, in another Airbnb, which was of course not that inexpensive as we hoped.
So we finally moved to our own place. Okay, to be honest, just for 2 weeks, but at least it's a start. And it was the first time after a long time that we were like alone and we had nobody around us. So at that time, we were thinking about a new strategy to find an apartment, because the apartment we got was like $1,000 a month. And at that point, we thought, like, where are the cheap prices everybody's talking about? So we found a new strategy, and we started to contacting people on Airbnb and to negotiate the prices, and we really found better prices that way. And the thing is that you really have to know, like, we had 4 appointments at the same time, like at the same day, but oh my god, they didn't show up on time. Like, you can't imagine, it's Colombia, so they have their own time, their own schedules and stuff, and we're not really priority. So like, we had for example an appointment at 11:30, and they showed up at 1 maybe, or something like that. So you really need to know that you have to always have a plan B. So yeah, during the whole time they were delayed and stuff, so we really it was kind of a hassle, but we knew, like, we already knew that this is gonna happen, so we were like kind of relaxed. So this is important for you to know. So finally, we found an apartment for $550 per month in a nice area. The apartment wasn't too big, but it was okay for a start, and it was more in the price range we were looking for. It was really exciting for us. Finally, we found an apartment, and we had a great price and everything. We had a daily routine again, and so yeah, that was super cool. And so we started to get a social life again. So we joined language exchanges, for example, and other activities to get to know other people and stuff. So we met a lot of great people, and so we got to social events and sportive activities, and we did a lot. And so at the end, we came to the point that we met so many great people that we just had no time for all of them. What a great problem, right? So of course, during the time in Medellin, we got to know Medellin better, and so this is what we did during that time.
So now it was time for the visa. So this was another hassle, because of course we didn't want to give just somebody the money that then messes up our visas, or even, I don't know, runs away with the money. So we did a lot of research, asked people, and we came up with good responses. We came up with people that didn't even reply to our inquiry. We had also a guy that tried to gouge us with $4,000 for the whole process, which we knew, especially now, that is way too much. So yeah, we selected one of those potential people and met up with this guy. We fortunately can say now it was the right decision. At the end of the day, the whole process was not really too complicated, but we were still happy that somebody helped us with the whole process, yeah, because it's just not as easy if you do it the first time by yourself. So at the end of the day, we got our visas approved, we got a bank account, and we opened the company more or less hassle-free, which was great.
So after a while, in our $550 apartment, we realized that it's quite small for the two of us, and also it doesn't have a lot of sunlight, and we were kind of freezing inside. Like, when we came out, it was super hot, but inside we were freezing. So we knew, like, at that point, we knew that it's time to move. So we started the whole process over again, and we were looking for signs, notes, pin boards and stuff. Also, we asked the security guards, and yes, this is what we did. And we also called the phone numbers we found on the notes, but it wasn't easy to understand the people. Like, at that point our Spanish was better, but still, like, it wasn't what we were looking for, because everything led to an agency, and we wanted to avoid the agency. We wanted to contact the owners, which is way easier. So A random day, we found a note with a number in an apartment, like on a mailbox. And we thought like, okay, let's call there. And we hope that it's the owner. It wasn't, it was just a renter of the apartment. And she told us that we don't need a Fiador. So we were like, okay, that sounds great, let's do that.
So as Tasha said, we just found a note, called the girl that was renting, and yeah, she promised us no Fiador. So we went to the agency with her, and long story short, if you want to find out the whole story, you can see that up in this video, and it's linked down below. Also how we got an apartment, which yeah, it's 320 bucks a month, which yeah, was really mind-blowing for us, especially as Swiss guys, where we're not used to rent anything less than $1,500 kind of. So it was really cool. As I said, details in the other video. So yeah, but long story short, we got the apartment and we were very, very happy and finally had an unfurnished apartment, really the local way. So we are now in an apartment, very, very happy, in a great place. And maybe if you have seen the video 1 of the series, you may already know that we didn't have a plan what we're going to work. We had some work back from Switzerland, but it wasn't really too much. So yeah, when we left Switzerland, we really just knew that we wanted to open a business, but that was it. So the idea we had during our travels and during settling down in Colombia, we had a couple of ideas. One is to provide clean water. Another one was to open a dog training kind of facility or something like that. But after finding out how difficult it is to relocate as an expat, because kind of not organized and there's a lot of misconceptions around and everything like that, we really thought there has to be somebody that organizes the whole stuff, declutters all the information, and really gives real practical information you can then apply. And of course, during the time we settled here, we met a lot of other expats that were almost the same as confused as us, or even more, because they didn't even speak a word of Spanish, which I can only imagine makes it so much harder. So yeah, we saw those confused people, and we for us the process was kind of confusing also. So we thought, we should do that. We open a company, and long story short, after now almost 100 videos and we helped a lot of great clients, we now have a company that helps expats relocate, and this is one of the main streams how we get our money from to be able to live here in Colombia. So yeah, right now we are happy to say we are nowhere places on this blue planet, and we know what we want to do. So we love to be here in Colombia, and we really love to help our fellow expats relocate here in Colombia. So the 3 learning points you can take away from this video and from our journey in the part 1 and 2 of this series is, first of all, research just is able to bring you so much of information. You really have to come here yourself. So the perfect example is myself, for example, because when I did the research about Medellin, I kind of thought it was kind of an ugly city, and we almost skipped going here, but we are very happy that we still did it, and we are happy ever since. And then the other thing is, it's important that you have the right information and that you trust the right people once you really relocate. As you've seen with our example, we try to do the right thing. We try to figure out, we try to do the research to figure out, we try to talk to people that have done the whole transition, but it was still very, very hard for us. So maybe a little sales pitch here. If you wanted to be the people you can trust, we would be happy to help you on your journey of settling down here in Colombia. But there's just that as a side note. Maybe you have a Colombian friend, maybe you, I don't know, found a really good blog, or through our videos, we try to help you kind of free with the information we give you there, so you're able to do it by yourself. Otherwise we're here for you. And then the third part is surely immerse yourself here. This makes it so much easier because first of all, try to learn Spanish. It's not necessary, but surely it's important if you can do that. Then the other thing is immerse yourself, like learn about the culture here. So it's one thing to communicate in another language, and it's another thing to really understand the culture, which can be quite different than what we're used to from, let's say, the US or Western Europe. So make sure to understand that. And the other thing is, it's very cool if you really are able to immerse yourself kind of a whole other world opens up to you, because just people open up to you, they are able to speak to you in Spanish. You don't kind of harass them with your other kind of or understanding of culture. So you just have a way better time like that.
So our plan for the future is surely to get to know better Colombia and the culture, and to see more of Colombia, the Amazon, like the coast, the Pacific coast, and the Caribbean coast, and so much more. So there's a lot to do for us. And on top of that, we surely want to help soon-to-be expats to relocate the right way and to make their journey as hassle-free as possible. And on top of that, our goal is also to help the community. And we figured out that it's not that easy, but we're gonna do that. So this is really a goal. When we came here, we knew that we want to help the communities here, like the people here. We don't know yet how we do it, but we will.
Yeah, this was our second part of the story. I hope there will be soon a third part coming up where we can explain, how our whole journey here in Colombia, went on its next step. So make sure, if you want to find out more about expat life, that you check out our website. We have a lot of free information there you can use for your research, free country tests and much more. So make sure to check it out now.